Welcome back from that short break. We are still talking organic agriculture, and I'm with Mr. Ezra Kaule and Albert Kande. We are still trying to break down the myths that surround organic agriculture. Basically, one of them being the fact that it's considered for small outputs and on a small scale. And also looking at this statistic that we have over 70% arable land in Uganda. This is a UN report in 2021 that indicated that Uganda has one of the most fertile soils, over 70% being arable. And we are only using 35%, not even half of our potential has been realized. And the report further says if we could use full potential, the full potential of our land would actually feed over 200 million. That's almost the whole of Africa. Why are we doing that? I'll start with you, Mr. Kamil.
Yes.
Land use. Let's talk about, for example, the usage of land. Organic agriculture advocates for the use of natural means or organic fertilizer and so on. But looking at the demand right now for food in Uganda, in East Africa, and the current land usage that we are using so little of our land, there are two contradicting things. Where do you think is the problem? What aren't we actually paying attention?
Well, I think our fellow viewers, the public at large, we are missing is some what we call information gap. People think that probably where we've been, they think to be an organic farmer, you need have chunks of land. Pyramid, like I said, is ecological land use management. We are looking at how people, irrespective of their positions, irrespective of gender, are using the available land that they have. We believe that even in a small plot of any size, like 50 by maybe 30, where you are staying, you can have land. So the models that we've, for example, developed in Uganda, things like community resilient agroecological models enable farmers, or even all of us people, to farm within the small pieces of land we have. And of course, we've done quite a number of trainings on how we can do this. For example, is the product of a project multiplier. We've taught them how, for example, to farm in, for example, sacks, what we call the urban gardening. Those days, people thought maybe the fact that I'm working in an office and I have this compound here, I need maybe chunks of land to put food on the table. We said no, that is not the case. Even in your compound, you've seen people here, the likes of Dr. Nambatia, having gardens, even the rooftop, having food in sacks around the verandas. So when we go back to land use, it is very important. All what we're missing is how do I use the small land that I have? How can I put it, how can I make it productive? And I think that is a missing gap. First, like I said, Pelam Uganda is an advocacy organization. Then we've advocacy on this, but also the projects that are anchored into Pelam. For example, the Center for Organic Agriculture. Yeah, disseminating knowledge on organic agriculture, basically on how to farm organically. So issues of land use management, yes, it is key, and I think various programs have come on board. But also the government has these programs on board where, for example, you're saying, please use whatever technology you have. Of course, you saw our president when he was in his farm in along Kaum, along Masurita Road. And he was using, irrigation using bottles. Yes, we are saying even where you are, with a small piece of land, you just need the information or the knowledge on how to farm on that small piece of land. Yeah, so the issue of land use management is very, very pertinent in Uganda here. Of course, land is not increasing, but population is increasing. And every one of us needs food on the table.
Mr. Khan,
Yes.
your submission on the land usage system and how people are utilizing land. Why are we still having low land utilization? I was in your area recently,
Yes.
and bushes are all over the place. And yet now we have a demand of over 45 million people who are demanding food. Even outside, people that we are feeding outside in Uganda need food from Uganda.
You know, Anthony, the funny thing is with our people out there in the communities, you know, there are a lot of mind games in everything, including in our sector in agriculture. Now, you go to a farmer and you are training them on how to organically manage 2 acres of land, produce a biofertilizer on farm, produce a biopesticide on farm, and they will tell you, but this is very bulky. You know, in their mind, I mean, you are giving your all to tell this person what should be done. They're telling you those things, you know, because at the back of their mind, they know I'll run to a shop, get a small bottle of 5,000 as a solution for a pest, I mean, and apply that. You see? Now, at the end of it all,
it's a quick solution.
They're finding quick solutions.
Yes.
You know, it's in the mind. I always tell people, I mean, to choose to go organic, I mean, will always start in your mind. If your attitude is still chasing the fast things, I mean, fast cash in the fast cash crops, you are going to end up having those chunks empty because you don't want to go an extra mile to put in, to make, to put use to that land to use. I was in Masurita just last week, like you were there. There's a survey I was doing for a thesis, a PhD thesis. Now, I moved through, there's a sub-county of Katikamu, through Masurita Town Council, then Masurita sub-county. And like you said, the chunks are there. And you're visiting this organic farmer. I mean, you're telling them, okay, why don't we expand? I mean, get out from the half acre. Let's expand to another acre, increasingly, year by year, until we have these 5 acres covered. And they're like, you know, the labor is expensive, you know, all sorts of. So generally, the problem starts with us, the land users. You know, our mind is still far from reality. I mean, facing the reality that it's time we changed and adapted to the fast changing, dynamics of the world. I mean, food is increasing, population is increasing, but the guys in Masolita, the guys in Mende will want a visitor from Kampala to go with a bag of posho. You can imagine a scenario like that. The guy has the chunks of land, but he's waiting for posho from Kampala. So my farmers out there, it's time we adapted fast, because we have told them, I mean, Pelham is very good at advocating for these things. Other civil society organizations, there is a fact in Mende there, a lot of contacts with these grassroots farmers that's been done. But, you know, I mean, I think it's a trend. I mean, when the youth are running out from the village, I mean, the elderly now are saying, okay, if the energetic have gone away, I mean, what am I laboring for? I'll just dig around my house. So, I mean, what I can eat, I'll go with that. So that's also a worrying trend with the involvement of youth in this agroecology kind of discussion. They have run away, yet they are the resource, they are the energy. You know, that survey I was conducting last week, the one I've talked to you about, there was a question. You asked them, do you think the youth prefer doing agriculture than, okay, do you think they think agriculture is more profitable than any other retail ventures or things like that? Then the answer would be unanimous. Say, no, they don't see any meaning, they don't see any business, they don't see any sense in agriculture, you know? Well, some say, okay, the youth are involved, but the majority are saying they are running away from it, and they are the energy. So if the energy isn't there, definitely the elder will do as much as they can afford. So that's a worrying trend as far as land use is concerned. And this now is attracting the land grabbers, you know? I mean, it's empty, it's there. Someone comes, scares you, please sell to me. If you don't sell to me, I'll find a way of taking it. I think the old man or old woman will get scared, and then they'll sell. So it begins fragmentation now. What was 5 acres becomes 1 acre. I mean, a person who used to produce 2 tons of maize maybe 10 years ago is now producing just 1 bag of 100 kilos, and that becomes a trend that is so worrying with production. Yeah.
I have a, we started with, for example, the shortage of food in the central region, which used to be the hub center of production. Basically, when you talk about food, but would the escalating number of people that are getting to participate in organic agriculture and scaling up these inorganic agricultural schemes be one of the reasons why we are experiencing a reduction? I'll start with you, Mr. Kalule. What do you think is the cause of us not actually using organic agriculture?
Well, I will begin from where my colleague ended. The mindset game, and of course the desire to have money. Of course, we will also appreciate that, when you use the toxic chemicals, there is a way they make the yields that you are better. I was somewhere in a village which I want to mention, and this lady wanted her pineapples get right, that they are ready for the market. And the chemicals she was using, of course, they were very dangerous to herself, the environment, and of course, even to the would-be consumers. I think we need to go away with getting things on a silver plate, because even then, the toxics we are using, they were at once in the lab and took them some time to produce whatever we are using. We encourage the farmers, especially the youth. Your topic is youth innovation. To, for example, have those innovative ideas and think of what they need in terms of farming. Of course, what they need in terms of farming, yes, the land is there. But what is hammering them is the chemicals vis-a-vis the pesticides. We've come up with programs, like my colleague said, that enable them to make organic pesticides. But also, we did a survey at the beginning of 2018, and we realized that the youth are not involved in this sector of agriculture. By the way, you know that Uganda is one of the organic producers, according to FAO, in the world. Yes. But of course, you may move around and you don't find any organic farm. Organic farmers are there. And of course, one would ask, what differentiates an organic farmer from, the conventional one? It is a series of steps, or what we are calling the principles. It's a series of steps, of course, from the farm to the market. But the issue is, we need to do away with quick things. We've been teaching people how to do, for example, to do organic fertilizers, on how to do organic pesticides, on how to farm organically, basically, and of course, applying all the organic agriculture principles. This kind of farming is not new. Our grandparents used to, do this kind of farming, but of course, because we were a lack of knowledge, maybe per se, and because we need quick things, look at the chicken we're eating on market. A cock of 3 weeks is bought on trade. That is what we do. And then when you go to the villages, you find the local chicken is at a cost of maybe 50,000. Then when you tell someone that 50,000, say, this is too high. No, I'd rather go to, But that is what is affecting the health of us. Yeah. The bit about organic agriculture is that, it empowers the farmers. It empowers the farmers, it empowers the producers to define their own food system. But also it empowers, it protects the environment, and of course its surroundings, and of course it is clean. The food is clean, and of course free from chemicals. So I think the youth. I'm talking about the youth because of course the elderly may not have the energy to do all these things, but I think we've had youth programs, Speram Uganda, we've had youth in agroecology, doing a number of, agroecological technologies and practices. And we have them across the world. There are those that appreciate what we're talking about. And of course, I know others who are not appreciating is because they lack knowledge. But of course, like I said, as an advocacy organization, Speram Uganda is there to give this knowledge to do an outreach so that we embrace. Of course, if you are doing organic and your neighbor is not doing organic, you're equally affected. Of course, you know that process. So we need to teach our neighbors. We need to encourage ourselves, of course, to go organic. Of course, there are benefits. Most often we've fallen sick, and then the doctor tells you, please, in this period, make sure you take some greens, take fruits. Why? When you're sick, we are saying you need to, whatever is around you, you need to be very keen of what goes into your stomach. For example, when you look at the cost of a tray of local eggs vis-a-vis a cost of the conversion of the eggs, that should bring to your attention. Yeah, a local chicken, the care we give to it is very minimal or zero protection. But we inject a lot of money in, bringing up these chicks to grow and all that. But of course, the output, one time we did the cost-benefit analysis of whatever is done organically. And we realized that these farmers need to realize that whatever is surrounding them is the way to go. Yeah, so basically that is my take.
Interesting. Mr. Kandi, Mr. Kandi just mentioned some of the hazards, what organic agriculture is bringing on board. And it brings a very important aspect of even the rearing of poultry. I didn't know actually that could also be organic agriculture. But what do you think, like he has mentioned, what are farmers missing out if they are not adapting to the organic agriculture?
Now, the missing link is here. You see, producing a bunch of banana does not start with looking at the banana stem itself, that, it will shoot and, eventually banana will come out. There is the science, there is the biology that we have intentionally altered with, that is limiting the production. You see, we talked about my region, Masaka, which I cherish a lot. There used to be a lot of banana growing in Masaka. You see? And now we're joking about it. It is eucalyptus that is in the place where bananas were. But where did the bananas go? They didn't just vanish, but it's the agroecological practices on the land, you see, that now are determining whether a food crop can survive here or not. What are some of these practices? You see, he was talking about the indigenous knowledge. Indigenous knowledge tells us, and still the farms, that our forefathers used remedies that were natural. During the 80s, 70s, and below those years, the knapsack was a rare thing on the back of a farmer. At the back of a farmer, you see? If it meant looking after a banana plantation, the practices could be do the trenching, put trees that are going to pull out the minerals from underneath and bring them on the surface for the plant to use, do the mulching, do the farmyard manure, you see, do the organic pest killing, the weevil killing, use the ash and other herbs. You see those small ecological practices that you are doing that are sustaining the health of the soil first. You see? Now, we are talking about food production, but we are forgetting that the food doesn't come from air. The food is produced on the land. If the land is not healthy, definitely there will not be a healthy plant surviving on it. So what we need to go back to is, let's make the soil healthy. You see? Through biological means. A healthy soil will ensure survival of a healthy plant. And a healthy plant will ensure it gives you the yield that you need to sustain the population. You see now the gap. Now, because we have run away from the biological, ecological practices and embraced the synthetics, we have killed the soil. The soil is the mother now of everything, of the food we see on the plate. If you kill it, definitely on the plate, the yields, I mean, we are talking about now, will not be realized. And the health, remember, it was the health of the soil giving us a healthy plant giving us a healthy bunch, and eventually a healthy meat. You see? So it's a cycle that we must not dodge at any time. But the unfortunate bit is we have intentionally dodged that circuit and went the shorter way. You see, what we have done is, okay, I can't do farmyard manure, I can't do the mulching, I can't do the compost. But I've heard there's a bag, 50 kilogram bag that can take me through 5 acres. I mean, apply it to the soil in 3 months, the plant will shoot, you know. But the effect of that 50 kilogram that you have put across 2 acres in the next 3 years is leading us to the shortage of food that we are seeing, because we have killed the biology of the soil. These synthetics have killed the nature, the real nature, the life of the soil, which will give us the life of the plant and the life of us. So, I mean, it's a trend we have chosen to take, but we are here to reverse. We are giving our farmers hope that that indigenous knowledge can still work even today, through embracing and bringing back the organic agriculture practices that should be. Because organizations like Pelham, I mean, at the end of the year, we shall be assessed. What have you done to reverse that? You know? Yes, we shall do evaluations. A number of trainings have been done, a number of civil society organizations have been empowered, but where are the results? So that's why we must comb the ground day and night. That's why, I mean, smaller organizations like NEMA will come in, because we are closer to these farmers. We want you to do the real practices. We are foot soldiers out there. We want to reverse this trend, because we want to get this soil back to the real, I mean, to the health that should be, to give ourselves food. You see, so that we get eventually the bulk, the yields that we will sustain the population.
Mr. Kande, the argument here most people have is about upscaling.
Yes.
Yes, organic agriculture has been known to be healthy. I'm pretty sure most people would want that, but they're saying I have 5 acres of land.
Yes.
Maybe growing maize on them. How am I going to be able to afford to get, for example, the FYM you mentioned, the farmyard manure, that's actually going to be sufficient for this vast? That's the question, the upscaling.
Now, that's why we talked about the mind. If you appreciate, now, Anthony, if they told you you have malaria parasites in your body, and what you should do is take quinine tablets. There's no shortcut about that. I want the parasites out, I must take the quinine. Now, if you tell the doctor that, now, you see, doctor, okay, yes, it's the quinine that will heal me, but you see, those tablets are too sour. I mean, but if they get into their body, and then, I mean, you know, things like that. If you choose that trend, then definitely you can't get results. This is what we are telling farmers. If the mind has switched on to go organic, to do the good practices, definitely we must trek that journey. Now, going organic agriculture does not mean you're going to make hundreds of tons of farmyard manure. The organic agriculture practices don't only stop at making the manure. These practices incorporate even the integration of different species of crops. Now, okay, that's a section of permaculture now. Like, we talked about the bananas in Masaka. A guy used to have 10 acres of banana plantation, but in it, there are at least 30 tree species
Within the banana
plantation. That is a good agroecological practice. The tree, the ficus, mutuba, there is the mogavu. Those ones that are known to litter the leaves that decompose, add the health, nutrients to the soil. Now, these are huge trees whose roots are so deep, go several feet down, to pull out the calcium, to pull out the zinc, to pull those trace elements to the surface. You see, you do not need to be manufacturing farmyard manure all the time. You just need to do that good practice. Now, you find a farm, it is a totally monoculture field.
Maize.
Alone. Okay, it's not a problem having maize alone. If you are to go maize alone, okay, that's a typical cash crop. We can use other means. But now, talk about a cash crop like bananas, talk about pineapples, talk about coffee. These crops that can accept or can be integrated with other crops that help them, not only helping them, but helping the soil, because we want to help the soil. If the soil is helped, definitely the plant will not have a problem. You see? So, if you have 10 acres, it does not mean go marathon, go full scale, and start gathering chunks and chunks of materials to do farmyard manure. Let's go step by step. You see, like I told you, we already got off the rail. There is a fast way of making money, the synthetics. Now, getting the minds of our farmers back to the indigenous knowledge will take us some time. That's why we are saying, okay, if you're okay, let's take 100% of your land. You've been doing the synthetics, those kinds of agrochemical practices and so. Now, in this year, give us 20% of your land. Give it to us, the organics. Next year, add us another 20. In the next 3 years, our farm will be fully organic. You see? So don't worry about going full scale, doing organic for the whole chunk, because it may look cumbersome to you. Because making these inputs, the bio fertilizers, I mean, to some of us it's simple, but to most of our farmers it looks a bit tedious. Now, let me give you an example of farmers who have done it. We have one of our good farmers, Sulma Foods in Luwero there. This guy is on about 20 something acres, but he does it organically, because he chose to go that path. And everything done there, year after year, is building onto the organic entity as a whole. I have a friend of mine, Dr. Sanjay. He has several thousands of acres in Masindi there. This guy is doing everything organically. No agrochemical there. This guy can cultivate up to 1,000 acres of maize, but you will not find any chemical there, whether at weeding, whether at planting, nothing. You see? So if we build our minds to accept that we should go back to the track, to the good practices, there are several of them. See? So this is what we tell our farmers. Let's adapt slowly. We shall get there.
Well, but I think also what our viewers need to understand or learn is that if you want to succeed in whatever you do, there must be things that I'll bring out two issues, two principles. For example, when you look at one is biodiversity. What is, for example, killing our cultural systems in Uganda? That many of our farmers think that when you grow, for example, maize in all your 20 acres of land, when you become rich, because the issue is about getting money. And for us here, we are saying in organic agriculture or agroecology, there is a need for diversification. Diversify. Okay? Of course, you've seen farmers, for example, here's the maize in the garden. And of course, this is what our grants were doing. We have maize mixed with beans or even bananas or coffee plantation. So for example, one waste, I would say one waste from one product is an input for the other. And of course, there is a way they fight each other. Of course, some what is affecting the bananas may not be affecting the maize. And of course, that is how we are looking at food security and nutrition. But of course, so now when it comes, like, for example, in is it 2019, we had the fall armyworm. It came and all it hammered the maize, for example. And for those who had acres and acres of maize, they suffered a lot. What agroecology and organic agriculture is that you need to diversify. You need to diversify, but also you need to use the surrounding to protect whatever you're doing. Of course, by following these principles, one, you are protecting your health, human health. Because even here we look at human health, you are protecting the environment itself, and you are putting clean food. So from time to time, for us, we are saying yes, we need to educate the environment, the public on good system, good farming systems. Of course, organic agriculture and agroecology are sustainable farming systems. The others are not sustainable. Of course, you've had farmers saying, no, I cannot, for example, farm the next season minus putting chemicals. Even for them to mature.